All right, so we talk about it a lot on this channel, financial independence, retiring early, but I never really actually discussed how much you need to have invested into dividends in order to retire early. Now, it's going to entirely depend on the type of person you are, what it takes for you to live, get by, what you're comfortable with. But in this video here today, I want to talk about exactly how much money you need invested in order to live off your dividend income and not need to work another day in your life if you chose not to. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Dalton. You're on dlitztv. On this channel, we talk about all things investing with my tips, tricks, and insight into the stock market. If you want to increase the size of your portfolio, then you're going to want to quickly jump down, click on that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification. I post a ton of different content you're definitely not going to want to miss out on. But like I said, there's a few main assumptions we need to get by, we need to figure out beforehand before we go into details on any of this, and that is going to be how much money you need in order to get by. Now, this is going to vary person to person. Think of a number in your head. If you're somebody who can live off of $30,000 annually, obviously you're going to have to invest a little bit less than somebody who is needing to live off of $60,000. So it really entirely depends on the type of person you are. Are you going to have kids? Do you need to support other people? But for the purpose of this video, we're taking the median income on a few different locations. And that leads me into number two. You're going to need to understand the dividend yield that you are receiving on your investments. I'll talk about a way that you can find out exactly your overall portfolio's dividend yield moving forward. And then the third thing I want to talk about is where you actually want to retire. Yes, it depends on location. If you want to retire in the US, it's going to be different from other countries. So in this video, I'll talk about the United States because that's where I'm from. I'll be talking about Portugal because when I looked up on a list, that's the #1 place to retire. And then thirdly, I'll talk about retiring in France because I think France is awesome. I'd love to go visit there one day. Haven't been there, but I think it'd be really cool. So with that being said, in order to find out the numbers that I'm using in this video today, I looked up the median household income for these different places, and I found that the United States, the median income was $43,585. And you have to remember that this number also takes into account, like, it's the entire household, okay? So these people that are making this money are also paying for other things, maybe their kids' tuition, a lot of different things. So the number is going to entirely depend on your situation and what you need to get by. So now that we have that $43,585 valuation in our mind, that's how much we want to make annually from our dividend income. Well, let's think about the different stocks, the ETFs that we can invest in. And I'll give you a few different scenarios. The first one I'm going to give you is my favorite ETF. If we just put all of our money into SPHD, the Invesco high dividend but low volatility ETF, then how much would we need invested in that particular ETF in order to hit that number? Now, I'm not saying that this is exactly what you should do. You should definitely diversify your funds, but I'm just saying for the assumption of this video, if we were to put it all into SPHD, how much would we actually need in there? Now, a simple Google search shows us that the dividend yield on SPHD right now is 4.9%. Now, I got my trusty calculator that I got back in college for my accounting courses, and who would have thought that I'd be using it here today? But here we go. So we know that we want $43,585, and then all you need to do to get the amount that you are investing is divide that by the dividend yield. So if I take that $43,585 and I divide it by 0.049 for the percentage, you're going to see that I need $889,489.80 invested into SPHD in order to get that dividend income that's going to cancel out that yearly wage, and that's how much I'll be making purely from dividends alone. Now, you might think, wow, this is a really high number. It's super hard to save that money. Yes, it is hard, but here's the thing. While I'm invested in something like this, while I'm invested in this ETF, it can also go through compound growth, where essentially what I'm doing is I'm reinvesting any of the dividends that are paid to me right now back into it. So that upholds my position and actually adds more dividend income on the back end. The other thing is that the price of the ETF is going to go up. So here's a chart of the ETF over the past 5 years. You can see that the price has gone up quite significantly, and taking that into consideration, it's going to be a lot easier than you might think to save that money. So basically, if you think about it, ETFs, you can find some solid ones that are going to give you around a 10% return from the stock market. I'm not going to be able to provide that information with you, which specific ones to invest in, because I'm not a financial advisor. That would likely be illegal. But let's just think about the scenario, how it actually works. So if you have $100 invested and then you get a 10% return, you're looking at a $110 portfolio, right? So then that $110 is your new baseline. If you didn't invest any more money the next year, if you got another 10% return on that now $110, you'd be looking at about $121. And then that $121 gets recycled and so on and so forth. And you can see how quickly it starts to compound from there. So if you find these really, really solid ETFs, these mutual funds that are going to provide that for you, then obviously saving this money is going to be a lot simpler than you think. Now, I said I was going to talk about a few scenarios. Let me talk about retiring in Portugal or France. Let me do France first because the median income is a little bit higher. And all of the links I discuss in this video will be in the description. So you can go check out all these different places, figure out where you can retire, when you can retire, and if you want to retire in different countries. So for France, the median income is $31,112. Really, really solid. That's a lot less than you need in the US. There's a variety of different reasons for that. But essentially, if you were investing in SPHD, so I'll divide that by 4.9%, you'd be looking at $634,938.78. So that seems like, hey, it's a little bit more attainable. Maybe I should think about retiring in other places rather than secluding myself to, say, the United States. So it's really cool. Obviously, you need less. But if you look at a place like Portugal, now Portugal's median income is going to be $16,186. And again, if I do the math, you only need $330,326 invested. So you can see it really does depend on where you want to retire. And maybe you've been thinking all this time, hey, I'm going to retire in the United States. I'm going to retire in this location. But you can see that it opens up so many different doors. If you consider the possibilities of retiring elsewhere, your money can go a lot further in these other places. So you might be thinking to yourself, oh, that's great. I mean, great information, but that 4.9% yield, I have no idea what my current stock portfolio is or how to build it. Well, you can use a simple website called trackyourdividends.com. Again, the link will be in the description. It's completely free. There's a paid portion to it, but this one is completely free for you to figure this information out. So you input all your different stocks, your ETFs that you're invested in, and you see at the top, it gives you an overall dividend yield. So for mine in particular, I'm looking at a 3.33% yield. So this is going to change as I'm adding more and more to my portfolio. As I get new dividend stocks, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to fluctuate depending on those stocks that I do invest in. But as of right now, if I wanted to retire in the United States with my current portfolio trajectory, if I had a 3.33% yield, I'd be looking at needing over $1.3 million. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go invest a little bit into the stock market. But in all seriousness, though the number seems really big, you can plan this out and figure out just how long it's going to take you to achieve that goal. At the very least, it's really cool to understand how much you need in order to retire. And if you did take away anything from this video, then make sure you hit the like button. It really does help me out. It pushes my channel out to different homepages on YouTube. A lot of people can see that, hey, maybe retiring early is for me. Maybe I can get there. I just want to get people started investing and thinking about their financial future. So again, if you enjoyed it, please click that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications. Got a ton of videos coming out. And thanks for checking out this video, guys. Have a great day.